Hi, I'm Georgiana at Holistic Life Hub. We came to the month of January, a month in which we can experience and manifest total self-confidence, but also awakening superior states of consciousness. So in this month it is very useful for us if we remind ourselves of the periods just before New Year, when there were a lot of garlands, a lot of lights, a lot of decorations because of the Christmas and the New Year, a lot of fireworks, so colors and light. And in this period after Christmas and New Year passed by, and now we somehow start a new year, we have new hopes, maybe a new year resolution. We need to remember, we need to remind ourselves that we can use light as often as possible in our life to get rid of the darkness. And because it's also such a period of the year in which there are just a few daylights during one day and quite a lot of darkness, we can make very good use of this ability of remembering, but also simply physically having a lot of light in our life, in our homes, around us, so that we can uplift our state of consciousness. And we can also remember something, I used to do it a lot with my students, to pay like a kind of invisible anonymous guardian angel. And in this period to remember this state we had during Christmas, when we are giving presents to each other and we will treating each other very beautifully with lots of love and a lot of warmth of the soul, that we can continue doing this even if now Christmas is gone, New Year is gone, so we don't need to have a reason to be kind, to be generous, to be loving to each other. So it is good to continue having this generous attitude, compassionate, loving attitude that we manifested quite a lot during Christmas and New Year. Also during this month, something which is quite important to realize, and maybe not just to realize, maybe you already have pondered upon it, maybe you already tested several times in different manners, is the realization of the fact that there is life after this life. Probably some of you already heard about Raymond Moody and his institute, about his book. One of the books is called Life After Life, in which he studied hundreds and thousands of people who suffered from the so-called near-death experience when they had a clinical death, and then when coming back from that to life, they simply said the same thing. Their experience beyond this physical life was amazingly similar. So hundreds and thousands of people from different places, different countries, different backgrounds, different social status, different belief system, they all had basically the same experience. So when they were telling their story, what they experienced when they were beyond this world, putting together all these stories, they came to the conclusion that it must be something true, because they are too similar to just be an imagination, a hallucination, a chemical reaction in the brain. So here comes a very simple technique in which we can elevate and amplify our ability for a superior receptivity. We don't need to be mediumics, we don't need to make a session of that, but simply this very simple holistic exercise will help us get a lot of soothing for our heart and soul, especially if we have some dear ones who are not longer with us, but also to realize something which for me was essential when I really experienced that there is more after this life. My fear of death and some other fears connected with this one, they simply disappeared when you know for sure, when you experience for sure, when you are completely convinced that something in you is eternal, that actually the divine sparkle in you has an eternal life, and that you just go from life to another life in order to experience different situations, in order for you to grow, in order for you to discover actually who you really are. And life is like a school with different lessons for you, just to learn how to love more and to manifest 100% of your potential. Then your perspective upon life will be quite different. So this simple exercise that I hope you will do it now together with me, it will help you as well to have some very interesting realizations upon our eternal spirit. So we start by sitting on a chair, we relax, we keep the back straight, we will go through the entire body and relax different muscle groups until we feel that the entire body is completely relaxed. We can start with the feet and then we move slowly upwards. So we relax the feet, the calves, the knees, thighs, pelvic area, abdomen muscles, the thorax, the back, the spine, shoulders, neck, facial muscles, also the muscles of the skull. So now we feel relaxed. We close our eyes and we visualize vividly a staircase. We go down the staircase, and at the bottom of the staircase we see a door. We open it, we enter in a very bright, luminous space in which we see lots of people. So now we are in the astral world and we meet people who are no longer with us in the physical world. If we feel for it, we can engage in short conversations with them. We can go around greeting them, talking to them, impregnating ourselves with the atmosphere, which is very peaceful, warm, very welcoming, so that we acquire a very deep state of serenity. So you can do this for quite a while if you want, but when you feel the need to move on, you start walking until you reach a garden. And in this paradisiacal garden, there is a bench. You can sit on it. And here you will wait just for a short while for a person who you know for sure he or she is no longer in the physical world. It can be a relative, a friend who died. When that person arrives and sits by you, you can start talking with him or with her, or if you prefer, you can simply communicate with no words, quietly. You will notice that it is very easy to communicate telepathically. You will feel a very special state of peacefulness, also joy, gratitude. And at the end, when you feel that now the communication it is over, you come back slowly to the normal state of consciousness. You come back into your physical body. You can move slightly your toes, your fingers. You can breathe in and out deeply a few times and come back. So now in the same manner, you can also enlarge your experience and your realization of the fact that we are somehow travelers through this life. We come from a past life and eventually we will have to leave this physical life in order to move on to another one. All these lives that we have, they are meant to make us grow as a human being and to attain what we can call spiritual perfection, spiritual realization, discovering the real us, and whatever else you can call it. So this exercise is also very simple and it helps us become aware of the connections that are at the beginning of the life, during the life, at the end of the life. So in this exercise we will again sit comfortably. You can sit on a chair or in a meditation position. It is important that we keep the back straight. We close our eyes and for a few moments we relax the body from the feet upwards. We relax the entire legs. We relax the pelvic area, the abdominal muscles. We relax our arms from the fingers up to the shoulders. And slowly we relax all the muscles in the thorax, as well as the muscles of our back, the spine. Relax your shoulders, your neck, facial muscles, the muscles of the scalp. So now when we are completely relaxed, we ponder upon our journey through life. For a short while we become simply aware of the amorous energy which our parents used in order for us to be born in this world. So we give it a few moments. We focus our attention upon that particular energy, the amorous sexual energy who brought us through the process of birth in this physical world. We do our best to realize deeply the spiritual significance of it. Without it, we couldn't sit here, you and I, doing what we are doing right now. So, grace to it, we exist in the physical world, having a physical body. And then slowly we move on, and for a short while we focus our attention and our consciousness upon the astral energy and the astral worlds we will go back to after our so-called physical death. So we came into this world from that astral world, and when we die, we will go back to it. So now for a few moments, we envision us coming back to the astral world. We realize that we only leave behind our physical body. The rest of us moves on. Notice the state of serenity, peacefulness, a very special state which comes from the connection with eternity, with the feeling of being eternal. And at the end of it, we make a summary, a synthesis, a very creative, beneficial synthesis of our understandings we had during this exercise. So please, when you do it by yourself, I encourage you to do it a little bit longer than here. And at the end of the exercise, when you come back, best would be if you write down in your spiritual journal all the realizations, all the inspirations you had during this exercise. It can be also very helpful if you share your knowledge and your realizations with your best friend or the better half you have, so with your friend, a good friend, or with your with your lover, because when you share these ideas, you will see they have a very good tendency to deepen, and also new inspirations, new beneficial ideas can come to your mind and deepen your understanding. You will see that by doing these two very simple exercises that I have described so far, the fear of death, the feeling of being alone, and other types of states, emotions, sensations, feelings we have regarding life, death, and also this sense of isolation. We feel isolated when we identify ourselves too much with only the physical body. They will vanish. You will have a completely different perspective upon life, upon your life, upon the meaning of your life, and also upon the duration of who you really are. You will realize that you actually have an eternal life. And now I will describe also a little bit short the last exercise for the month of January. This one is very, very sweet, and it can also improve your life tremendously, because you will do something in order to come into contact with an old, faithful friend of yours, namely your guardian angel. So this exercise goes like that. You need a very beautiful sheet of paper. For example, I buy sheets of paper that have a very beautiful background, either landscape or something which is very beautiful, not just a blank white paper, the ordinary one. So I buy something which is very beautiful. And on this sheet of paper, you start writing a letter to your guardian angel. You don't need to present yourself, you don't need to describe yourself. Your guardian angel is actually a very old and faithful friend of yours, maybe your best friend, even if you do not realize. So now you start describing to your guardian angel what is going on in your life right now. If it is something which is bothering you, or if you need help with something, or you need some support, you tell him or her what's the matter, what is the problem, what needs exactly you require, what you actually would like to receive as a help from your guardian angel. And then at the end of the letter, when you describe a little bit what is going on in your life, You can also write down some of your divine dreams and hopes, what you wish for, what you desired, and some of your troubles and worries and problems, and ask your guardian angel, him or her, to help you in the most divinely integrated way. At the end, you just thank from the bottom of your soul to your guardian angel for listening to you and for helping you. And at the end of it, you can just close your eyes and for a short while really feel that while you're writing the letter, all the information you put in your letter actually reached your guardian angel instantaneously. So that was a form of direct communication with your guardian angel. And if you want to make it even more sweet, you can fold your paper and you can put it somewhere where you see it. So if in your home you have somewhere like an altar or your special corner, you can place the piece of paper there, your letter to your guardian angel there, and whenever your eyes rest upon it, you just remember the information in your letter to your guardian angel. Or something else that you can do is to place the letter to your guardian angel under your pillow. That is also an option, and you will see that in some unexpected, almost miraculous way, your problems, your worries, after you share them to your with your guardian angels and you ask for him, for his or for her help, they were solved. I wish you a lot of success with these simple exercises, which are meant to soothe your heart, your soul, and to make you aware of the fact that we have more than a physical body. We are more complex than that. We also have a part of us which lives in the astral world. Many times we are not even realizing that.